Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you guys so much for watching. So today's video is going to be on the July MorpheMe brushes. I actually have not even opened this. I mean, it's open because my sister opened it, but I haven't even looked at what brushes came this month. I'm literally opening them and looking at them for the first time right now. I'm not sure if you saw my last MorpheMe video or not, but in the last video, I did talk about how we got elite brushes in the MorpheMe subscription, like little package for last month. And they just recently redid their whole elite collection, so I wasn't really sure what was going on. I wasn't sure if they sent us the old elite brushes or I just wasn't really sure, but I did find out and I did get clarification that the brushes that they're sending us now are from the new elite collection. So they're from the elite collection number 2, which is awesome. And that's why they're so soft. And I noticed because I have some elite brushes and the old elite brushes, the tips are like white and on the new ones, they're brown. So we're getting all new elite brushes, which is like amazing because those are the nicest and most expensive brushes that Morphe makes. So let's get started. So this month's subscription came with 5 brushes and I'm gonna go through them from biggest to smallest. I don't know why. So the first brush that came in this month's package is the M310. So as you can see, this is just a regular old fan brush. A lot of people swear by this brush for highlighting. I actually already have it. Here's my new one. Here's the one that I already have. So I actually ordered this because so many different people swear by this brush for highlighting your face. And it is really nice for highlighting, but personally me, there's other brushes that I like better. I've tried the whole fan brush highlighting, and although it's cool and I like it, it's not my favorite way to highlight my face. I do like to use this to highlight my collarbones. I mean, if you want to be super extra, usually I just grab whatever brush I'm using to highlight my face and I'll highlight like my collarbones and my shoulders with that. But using a fan brush to highlight on your body does work a lot better because it does give more of a like blended, soft type effect. But I don't know, on my face, I mean, it works nice, but it doesn't give a super intense highlight, I find. I personally find that I like to use the M510 better to highlight my face because it's just like the perfect little shape and it fits perfectly in the area where I like to put my highlighter, and then I just blend around once I see that the brush isn't distributing any more product. But there are a lot of people that prefer the fan brush, and this fan brush really is good for highlighting. Sometimes I will pick this up to highlight with, but not always, not my favorite. Honestly, I don't know how much I will use this brush because like I said, I already have one, so this is my second one. I'll probably be giving this to like one of my cousins or my sister or somebody that doesn't have a fan brush and has been wanting one. But if you don't have this brush, it is extremely, extremely, extremely soft, and it is really a great brush. It's really nice, it's really soft, and it really does give you a nice blended highlight type effect. I just don't know why. I just never find myself really reaching for a fan brush to highlight. I always find myself reaching more for like my M510 or even my, which is this called? My M501. I'll use this for highlighting a lot also. But see me, whatever. So the next brush that came in the package is one of the new brushes from the Elite 2 collection. So I'm super, super duper excited about this. And it is the Morphe E48. So last month in our MorpheMe subscription, we received the Morphe E3, which is like a super nice, super soft tapered brush. It looks very similar to the E48, it's just bigger. The E3 is a little bit more tapered than the E48, but they're pretty much almost the same thing. They're very, very, very similar. Actually, this E3 brush that came in last month's package has become my new favorite powder brush. It's just so soft and it's pretty dense. So what I'll do is I'll dip into my powder and literally pack it onto my face and then do little swirly motions to blend it all out. So I'm super duper excited about this. These new Elite brushes are so ridiculously soft, it is insane. When I look at this initially, my first impression of what I'm gonna use it for is to set my under eye area because it's just really dense. It's gonna pick up a lot of like my banana powder product and allow me to really pack it on. Whenever I'm applying powders to my face, I like to use that packing type of a motion. I don't really like to swoosh back and forth because that's when it kind of stays looking a little streaky and it looks like powder on top of your face. I like to dip into my powders and really press in, and then after that do little swirling motions to help blend out. So the softness of this brush, the shape of it, and the density of it, I feel like that will be perfect to put banana powders in my under eye area. So that's probably what I'll be using this little baby for. Other than that, I don't really know what I would use this for. I guess what I would use this for is for packing powders in smaller areas of my face. So like I said before, in my under eye area, in the middle of my forehead, you know, my chin, in any areas probably that I'm gonna be using like a banana powder is probably what I'll be using this for. The next brush is another brush from the new Elite 2 collection, and it is the Morphe E22. So as you can see, it's just like a nice fluffy brush. However, it is really, really, really dense. It's a lot denser than a lot of fluffy brushes that I already have. So this is gonna pack on a lot of product at a time. It is slightly tapered at the tip also, so it'll probably fit very well into the crease. Actually, yeah, when I put it right here, like it fits directly inside of my crease. Because this is so dense, I probably wouldn't use this as like my blending brush, if that makes sense. I have like a really soft, fluffy brush that I like to use in my crease when I first start applying my eyeshadows, because it applies it very lightly and it really blends it out. Something like this, even though it's fluffy and it will blend, it's not gonna blend as much because it is so tightly packed. It's really gonna keep the product wherever it is that you place it and not blend it very far out. So I would probably use something like this, not for my transition color, but as I work my way up, I always start with lighter colors in my crease and then get darker and darker and darker to give that nice blended effect. I will probably use this in one of the, like when I'm using one of the darker colors. I would not use this brush to start because it's just gonna apply too much product in too small of a space and it's not gonna blend it the way that I want it to. This is my first impression. I could be wrong, but just from touching it and like putting it on my eye, that's what I'm seeing. What I'm thinking I'll probably do with this is when I use a darker color, I'll probably use this to like pack color into the outer V of my eye and then use whatever's left over on the brush to blend it up into the outer edges of my crease and in that outer area. But I probably won't use this all the way through my crease because I don't know how well it's gonna blend product because it is so dense. I love getting eye brushes. Eye brushes are one of those things that I feel like I can never get enough of them because every time I'm trying to do something with my like eyeshadow, I feel like I use 90 billion brushes when I'm doing my eyeshadow because I don't know, I'm always trying different things and I'm always trying to apply eyeshadows differently and I'm always trying new techniques. So it's always nice to have different brushes to play with because you never know what you're gonna need or what you're gonna feel like doing, if that makes sense. So getting eye brushes in my MorpheMe packages like gets me really excited and it's one of my favorite things to get. So the next brush that came is the Morphe M432. And as you can see, this is just like a super short, flat brush. It's like a little definer brush, but it's very flat. I love brushes like this. I feel like I said before, I feel like I can't get enough eye brushes and I feel like I can't get enough little flat brushes. I love tiny brushes and I love using them because it really allows you to get like those little details in your eye makeup and I feel like the little details really do make all the difference. So something like this I would totally use for my lower lash line to like pack color right up against my lower lash line. A lot of times brushes, even though they're flat, they're not really stiff, if that makes sense. So when you try to get really close up against your lower lash line, it kind of like you'll end up with like brown shadow like down to here because it's too fluffy, if that makes sense. And this one is very stiff, which I like. So I feel like this would be perfect for just lining right up against your lash line with like a nice dark color. So years and years ago when I first started shading in my eyebrows, I actually used to use a brush just like this, super flat and like square. And I don't know, it worked really well for me. Like because it's so flat, it really does allow you to keep like those nice sharp lines that you need for your eyebrows. Now I prefer an angled brush, but if you're somebody that has a hard time creating like that nice sharp line like on the bottom of your eyebrows, this is a great brush to start learning how to do that with because it's very stiff and it's basically like dummy proof. Like it's gonna draw a straight line no matter what, and because it's kind of wide, it's gonna cover a lot of space. So when you go like this, like you've kind of already covered like the first quarter of your eyebrow just by like pressing it into your eyebrow, you know what I'm saying? So that makes it a lot easier. So if you're struggling with your eyebrows, try out a brush like this. It probably will help a lot to carve out the bottom part of your eyebrow. So the last brush that came in this month's MorpheMe package is the Morphe E18. When I pulled this brush out of the package right now, the first thing I thought of was the Morphe E36, which is this one right here. It did come in last month's package and I actually have the old E36 from Morphe, so I have two. I have two E36s, but I have the old one and the new one. This is my favorite brush ever for highlighting my inner corners because it's just so little. So the E18 is kind of similar to the E36, except it's bigger and it's a little bit more tapered. Now the E18 is a little bit fluffier than the E36, and like I said, it's a little bit bigger. And it is tapered on the tip, which the E36 is not. But I feel like this would be a great brush for the under eye area also. So like for example, what I would probably do is I'd probably take my transition color dip my E18 into my transition color, smoke out my entire bottom lash line with this because it's very fluffy, it's not very dense. So it's gonna give you a really nice blended effect. And because it's so soft, it like really is not pulling on my skin or hurting my lower lash line at all. Sometimes when I use brushes in my under eye area, like I have 2 Morphe brushes, I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head, and they're so far away. I'm just kidding, they're right there, but whatever. Those 2 brushes, for some reason, they're very small, like fluffy brushes, but they're hard. And when I put them in my under eye area, they like kind of feel like they're almost scratching my skin. So these Elite brushes are so soft, they don't pull your skin at all. And it's super fluffy. So like I said before, it's gonna give a really nice blended effect to the under eye. So I would probably go in like with my transition color, or my transition colors, with this brush, the E18, all through my lower lash line. And then I'd probably take a darker color with the M432, which is a little flat one. Press that up against my lower lash line to kind of like make that that lower lash line nice and deep, but right up against my lashes, not too far down. And then I'd probably go back into the E18 to help blend all of that out to give a nice blended effect. Honestly, when I look at this E18, that's probably all that I'm gonna use this for. This is like my new lower lash line brush. So, and it's really soft, so it feels very nice. And that is it, guys. Those are all the brushes that came in the month of July's MorpheMe package. If you think that you'll be using these brushes for something other than what I mentioned, then please comment below and let me know what you'd be using them for. I'd love to hear, you know, what you guys think of when you see these brushes and like what you're gonna use them to do. Especially if you have something that you love to do with a fan brush, because I personally am not a huge fan brush person. So every time I get them or I see them, I'm kind of just like, whatever, because I haven't really figured out what I love them for, because I don't love them for highlighting. So, and I've tried to contour my nose with them, and I don't know. It just, I don't know. So what do you like fan brushes for? Because I don't know what I like them for, to be 100% honest. I'm really not sure. Like I said before, I'm so excited that they're sending us so many of the Elite 2 collection brushes. I'm sorry for my confusion in last month's video that I wasn't really sure what was going on with the Elite brushes, but now I know they are the Elite 2 collection brushes that we're receiving in the mail, which is amazing. I added everything up, and if you bought all these brushes individually, just, you know, one by one, you would have spent $30.95, and the monthly membership is $19.99. So I did end up saving $10.96, right? $10.96, yes. So that's basically like 1 or 2 brushes from Morphe that I ended up saving. Pretty cool. So like I always say in these MorpheMe videos, even if you don't want to do the monthly subscription, what you can do is you can just sign up for the monthly subscription, get your brushes for that month, and then cancel it. So if there's one month that you see, wow, I love the brushes for this month, you can sign up, get the brushes, and then when you get the brushes, you can stop your subscription, and then you can just reopen it next time you like the brushes for the month. You do not have to do it every month if you don't want to. I have a lot of friends and a lot of family members that do that, because let's face it, most people do not need this many brushes. I mean, I feel like I can never get enough brushes. I feel like I need these brushes. I need them in my life. But that is not the case for everybody. Keep in mind that if you ever like brushes from one month, it's so worth it to just sign up and save money and get them for that month, and then just stop your subscription. And then the next time you like brushes, you can open your subscription again, and then you can stop it again. And you just end up saving money, and it just ends up being better. And that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Just like this, it was like, what? Yeah.
Actually.
For what?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You wanna go Pokemoning? Why? I guess. I'm a hot Pokemon trainer. Not the look you're going for. I won't look super sharp, and Puff, you gotta stop. Puffy, you gotta sit down. You done? Okay, goodbye. What? No, I don't want to grilled cheese. I want to finish my video. Can you stop? Can you go so I can finish? So annoying. Why are you being so annoying, Puff?